Welcome to Balancing Acts, the show that's dedicated to help you build a profitable, resilient company and constantly balance the priorities competing for your time and money while leading a productive life. Today, we're going to talk about another growth strategy, actually using a book to help grow your business and to promote yourself. And we're talking with Alison Tugwell. Allie Tugwell, an Amazon #1 bestselling author of Word Awakening. Stop writer's block and start creating impact now. Alison is a book coach, a writer, and event producer of Pun Spoken, a pun and spoken word poetry event series based in Austin, Texas. And we're so fortunate that Alison has agreed to come and share her insights today on how a book can help you grow your business. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Linda. I'm so excited to be here and talk to everyone about authorship as a strategy to grow your business.
So let's start with your background. What motivated you to become what you refer to as an author success coach?
Yeah, I was a life coach. I had a training and background on life coaching, and I really wanted to support creative people with getting things done. So that was kind of what inspired me to go in this path. And then once I was doing that, I realized that a lot of creative people needed help with their businesses. So I started to go down that route with business coaching. I was also writing a lot on the side, and I actually had a woman hire me to have me help her write her first book. And this was before I had written my book. And so I realized, wow, when someone is paying you for something, that is kind of outside the scope of maybe what you've done in the past, but there is an absolute need for it. I looked at this as a market opportunity and said, you know what, let me do some research and see if this is a problem that other entrepreneurs are having. She herself was an entrepreneur and was looking to build a business on flipping houses in the real estate market and wanted to write a book about that. And so I had known her from entrepreneurial circles. And when she hired me, she's like, creative stuff. You're an amazing writer. I think you could help me with this project. And then when I did the research, I was like, oh, wow, there is a great market opportunity here to help people write their books. And so I helped her with that project. And then I said, you know what? I think it's time for me to write my own book. So I know that process of it. And so, yeah, I knew a lot about helping people go through creative blocks and manage their time really well. And so that was what my book was about. And after that, I was really able to understand the full process of it. And one of the processes that I used to write my own book was a company called selfpublishing.com. At the time, it was called Self Publishing School. It did a rebrand, and now they're selfpublishing.com. And so now I'm an author success coach with selfpublishing.com. And an author success coach, and what that means is I really help to shepherd authors, primarily nonfiction authors, of people that are writing self-help books and maybe memoir style books that are telling their story. And I help them get through the writing, publishing, and launch process so that they can become Amazon bestsellers. They can use it as speaking opportunities or an opportunity to sell services or coaching or consulting packages as well. So it is definitely a tool and a greater strategy and a greater game plan for entrepreneurial success.
That makes sense to me. A lot of our audience are entrepreneurs, and I also run my own workshops and creating a one-page business plan to help you grow a profitable business. But what I hear from the audience of entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs I talk to really across the country and also globally is they all want to grow. And the most common challenge is marketing is tough. So how do you know if writing a book will be a good marketing tool for you?
It's a great question, Linda. I love the idea of a book being a business card that does more for you. So when you have someone that might be interested in working with you, giving them a book and them reading through it, maybe even if they just skim it or understand, really builds trust with your audience. And that is one of the key components to having somebody work with you, is that if they trust that maybe you've been down this road yourself before, or you've helped hundreds of people solve this same problem. So a book tells somebody, hey, literally being an author is the root word of authority, right? You are an authority figure on this particular topic. So it builds trust with the audience. And then actually once that they peruse the book, maybe they read it in entirety, maybe they just look through for like the kind of end chapters, the key points there, or they listen to it on Audible and they hear that you bringing up some great points. When they are ready to take that step and solve their problem or apply some of the principles in the book and might need a little extra help from you or have additional questions that the book might not answer, you become the go-to person that can solve their issue. They become a much more qualified lead if they've read your book and start even taking some of the action items in that book itself. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Because often when you're talking to prospects, you struggle with, sometimes many do struggle with explaining what you do and what the value will be to your customers. So if they've already read your book, it kind of, that sidesteps a hurdle of starting from scratch. So, that expression, know, like, and trust. If they've read your book and reach out to you, they've already maybe liked what you had to say and have started to be able to trust you. That's a really great insight. So let's say, okay, who could write a book? Who might benefit? I'm a CPA. I could write a book on taxes, on growth strategies, on what other types of entrepreneurs would benefit from writing a book?
I'd say anybody that has a process that they take their customers or clients through, that is kind of their signature way of doing it, that might be just slightly different. So do you have an onboarding strategy that you bring people through? Do you solve a very specific problem in the marketplace? And are you also answering a lot of questions, the same type of questions over and over from your customer base? I mean, this is the type of stuff that would be great to just put out there in a book and then direct people to. So yeah, I'd say signature process, getting that out there in the world, solving an important problem in the marketplace. If you keep answering the same kinds of questions and finding yourself repeating yourself, or explaining certain topics or in your genre, that a book is a great way of just getting that out there. Mm-hmm.
Got it. I see. So there's probably a lot of challenges through writing a book. Now, some people listening may have already written a book. Authors have been through that process. But what about new authors? What are some of the biggest challenges that a new author will face in getting that first book out?
Yeah, I'd say one of the challenges is knowing what the process is, and also knowing which route to go through, because there are multiple routes when publishing a book. There are traditional publishing. There's also hybrid publishing, which is a little bit of a mix between a traditional publisher and also the DIY, do-it-yourself, self-publishing. And then there is the self-publishing route. And so my favorite is the hybrid publishing route, but sometimes hybrid publishers can get a bad rep. There have been, a lot of talk of particular, I won't mention them, but just like in the past, scams or, publishing houses that don't really exist in the marketplace, or just don't deliver on what they're asking for, and they are expensive. So it's, making that choice on which direction to go in is really, I know, one of the first questions that I always get when people are debating whether or not they want to write a book is like, which pathway should I go? And then it's, okay, I've chosen a pathway. What is the process to getting from maybe idea to writing to, launch and beyond? Yeah.
Right. And so the next thing might be, okay, I've decided to write a book. How do I pick my topic? How do I pick what I want to write about?
This one's an easy one for me. I think you write on, a couple different ideas. Is what are you passionate about? Like what keeps you up at night, or keeps your clients up at night, that you want to solve this problem for, and you have a burning passion for it. Also, you might have several things that you want to write a book about. You might brainstorm on a piece of paper a bunch of the different topics that you might be passionate about that you could write a book about, including maybe your own story. And then you look at all these kind of ideas about, what's keeping me up at night, what's going to solve these problems, what am I really burning to say? And then you pick what you can write the fastest. And I say that because, as I already mentioned, there's a learning curve when it comes to knowing all the different processes and the steps to writing and publishing a book. So make it easy for yourself on the content side and really choose a topic that you know that you can quickly write about the fastest, things that are very, very close to home for you. So it could be your story. It could just be like the process that you're already taking people through that solve a particular problem.
Thank you. And so we're going to take a commercial break, but I would say for those of you listening that what I heard was, one, you want to investigate how you would publish your book, what method you want to use. You have to do some research and due diligence on all of those methods of how it will help you. And then you want to write about something you can get out quickly. And we'll take a commercial break and come back and talk about growing your business using a book.